call them chiefs because they are not chiefs. I won't agree. I would never agree that they are chiefs. The Uzama, the John, Lord, then I call them the king crowner. But in the old, they were king makers. Isaac Morioba, a concept. Isaac Morioba, beautiful concept. But in the old, there were times where these elders were so powerful that they were able to influence who becomes the Oba of Benin.
Thanks for clicking on this channel. Please subscribe to FO's blog and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified. The cause of Benin Igala War. Oba ESIGIE versus the Uzama and Atta of Igala. Ozolua's son, Oba ESIGIE, right at the inception of his reign, ESIGIE was confronted with a rebellion in Udo town in the Ovia territories led by his brother, the Enogie of Udo, Prince Idubor, alias the Arhuanran. It required a long drawn-out campaign to defeat Idubor and occupy Udo town. The Portuguese were already in Benin during this period, and they lent a helping hand to ESIGIE and Benin in the conflict. It was the Portuguese presence in Benin at this time which triggered the major conflict of ESIGIE's reign. Oba ESIGIE had already been converted to Christianity by the Portuguese missionaries in Benin. These missionaries were very probably from the prefecture of the Catholic Cathedral of the nearby offshore island of São Tomé. Rome was anxious to Christianize the Benin kingdom, relieved that the kingdom was still virgin, and not yet an Islamic state. The gentle pressure which the missionaries exerted on the king to take measures to accelerate the acceptance of Christianity by the generality of the populace created a schism between the Oba and the people, led by the Uzama elders. This difference of opinion regarding which religion to embrace, between the native and the imported beliefs, escalated, and the Uzama decided on a regime of non-cooperation with the king. ESIGIE retaliated by sidelining the Uzama chiefs through his creation of a parallel Uzama chieftaincy college, the Uzama Nibi, Junior Uzama, bringing Chief Agiyemian, the ancient enemy of the Uzama chiefs, as member. The Uzama sent emissaries, led by Agbovulege, Alias trusted servant, to the Atta of Igala, in his capital of Indar, across the river Niger. The message to the Atta was, Oba ESIGIE of Benin is getting ready an army with which to invade your territory. Hurry up, take preemptive action, attack first, and we the Uzama chiefs will be ready in Benin to support your efforts in the removal of the Benin king from the throne. The Atta of the Igalas was grateful for the warning received. He attacked Benin, but with the help of the European guns in Benin, he was defeated, and then driven all the way back to Indar. His kingdom became a subordination of Benin Kingdom. Because of the ancient and hallowed belief in the land, a principle which had been a part of the custom of the people since the Ogiso period, that it is forbidden to subject the alias to physical harm. The same with the Edohen, ESIGIE decided not to invoke the severest of sanctions against the Uzama nobles for their treason. He let them be, further influenced, no doubt, by his new Christian religion. But he stripped the alias of his gorgeous ceremonial garments as punishment for his violation against the throne. And he further insisted on keeping his own emergency college of the Uzama Nibi, as a hedge against any further shenanigans from the ancient nobles, Uzama. Oba ESIGIE went further. He created two new yearly palace festivals, the Arhuanran and the Oro, the first to celebrate his initial victory over the Uzama chiefs, and the second to celebrate his victory over the Atta of the Igalas. These festivals are an integral part of the yearly Enogie of Udo ceremonies in the Benin Palace. In gratitude for the Christian help he received in turning back the troops of the Igala army, and to assure the Roman Catholic Fathers of the earnestness of his support in their effort to Christianize Benin, ESIGIE sheathed his sword, and turned his back on other military endeavors, because he had been convinced by the missionaries that there would be peace in the kingdom. He let himself be guided by the wish expressed in a letter, written in Benin City on the October 20, 1516 AD, by one Duarte Perez, a Portuguese trader then in Benin. The letter was written to the Portuguese king, John II, giving excuses for the slowness of the enterprise of converting the Benin kingdom to Christianity. For the success of the endeavor, that peace was wanted in Benin, the letter stated. ESIGIE sheathed his sword. The kingdom ceased all military endeavors, in order to allow the Roman Catholic Reverend Fathers to get to work in their efforts to spread the tenets of Christianity, the great mystery, amongst the Benin people. Therefore, throughout the remainder of ESIGIE's long reign, it was only local military expeditions which were undertaken by Benin. These expeditions were those provoked by circumstances, rather than deliberate, pre-planned campaigns of conquest. One of such little campaigns, in the western Ibo areas, led to the founding of the Iguatacel quarters in Benin City. It also led to the founding of the Ogida quarters, beyond the Aliha moat in the city. ESIGIE's only forays into the Enogie of Arhuanran territories of Ilegbe led to the founding of Ingbeku village in the Hukpato district. Let listening to Mr. Nzadua for further explanation.
Alright? This is about the argument we need to put. A lot of people will not be convenient with it. But it's the truth, because we have to place things in the right perspective. There were times in history where I usually tell people, I know sometimes in recent times most books now refer to the Uzama, the John, the Uzama chiefs. Oh, sorry, I don't call them chiefs because they are not chiefs. I won't agree. I would never agree that they are chiefs. The Uzama, the John, then I call them the king crowner. But in the old, they were king makers. Isaac Morioba, a concept. Isaac Morioba, beautiful concept. But in the old, there were times where these elders were so powerful that they were able to influence who becomes the Oba of Benin. It has not only happened once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It has happened even more than 10 times or 11 or 12 times. Where some of these chiefs in the old were powerful enough to influence who becomes the Oba of Benin. Sometimes they succeed, sometimes they don't succeed. A very good example was Oba ESIGIE. Chief only felt that what Oba ESIGIE did to him was wrong. I have said it that it was not a Desuwa story or Imagoro story. Imagoro story is an apocryphal tale. It never happened. I don't think there's such person called Imagoro in Benin history. The Benins were trying to encode the original story that it was because some of the prominent chiefs disagreed with Oba ESIGIE for bringing Christianity into a donation. You cannot bring a foreign religion as and are enforcing it on the people. So they rebelled. And only I told Oba ESIGIE that I will remove you from the throne of your fathers and I will replace you with another royal bloodline who was already a king, Atta Of Igala. Atta Of Igala shared, there are some dynasty, there are about 2 or 3 dynasties of kings of Igala. A particular dynasty lines of the kings of Igala were Benin bloods, were royal bloods of Benin. So he wanted to replace Oba ESIGIE by one of the Benin royal blood who was the Atta Of Igala. If that situation had happened, I'm sure the Igala people would have today also be telling us that they were the one who gave us king, just like the misguided Ife people. It's also telling us that they were the one who gave us king. If that had happened, Oliya wanted to replace Oba ESIGIE with another Benin royal blood, who was the Atta of Igala. So we need to start getting our history very clearly. So that means Oliya was that powerful to tell the Oba that he was going to remove him. Why? Because he brought a foreign religion that was against the religion of the land. So you cannot say that these people are slaves. Under whatever guys, they are not slaves. All right, these people certainly are not slaves. Man, go bring red wine. Man, come drink the red wine. Okay, that's one of the example. Another example is Oba. Oba was trained first in the island of Sao Tome, then later years he went to Lisbon. He was trained as a seminary priest. He was a Christian who was baptized. So when he came to Benin, he said he wanted to become a priest. He wanted to become a Catholic priest, and at the same time he wanted to be the Oba of Benin. And the people told him, the chiefs told him that you can't. You cannot be two kings. You cannot be two gods. You can either be a god of your own as the Oba of Benin or serve another god. I go back in Oba. Oba, according to that parable, it means that Oba is regarded as God. So you cannot be serving God and also be God. That's what they told him. So they gave him a choice that, okay, if you want to become a seminary priest, a Catholic priest, fine. Go and become your Catholic priest. After all, this is what we quarreled over with your father. So you cannot bring that same level here. It's either you become a Catholic priest or you become the Oba. So you cannot say that these people that have so much power to now say the heir apparent can have a choice of becoming this or this. You now say that they are slaves, or that they were subjugated by the Yoruba bloodline, like they say. When someone gives you an option, it's your right, but they are still giving you an option. This is the law of the land. This is the law of the land. It's either you become one, you become one god. You cannot be two gods. Oh no, you cannot be a god and serve another god. You can only choose one, whether you want to serve God or you want to be God on your own. And in that said, he chose to be God by dropping his ambition of becoming a Catholic priest and not taking to become the Oba. When he became the Oba, everything that has to do with Catholicism, he paused it, or he completely disregarded it. So you can no longer call these Edo slaves, because you now have social media phones and all of that. I'm not saying people shouldn't get all of these things wrong. I know a lot of people get things wrong by saying, is Ozolua not trying to say that the Edo people should rebel their Oba? You know how a lot of our people think. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to say that the love that we have for our Oba is innate, is deep inside our soul. All right. It's deep inside. It's deep inside our soul, and it is not as a result of subjugation. It's imbued, correct? It's innate. It's ancestral. We were born to love our Oba, and that it is not as a result of fear. That's what I'm trying. Follow color. This guy, they bust my head. It has something to do with fear. If it was fear, I've just told you reasons. Some of us were killed. In plain words, were killed by the same Edo people. Some were told that because of Urioba, even as a crown prince. So you cannot say that these people are afraid. They are not afraid. They love their king. And it is the love that they have for their king that created the impression of this absolute loyalty that we have for our king. And it's innate. Abima to, it is something when we were born that it came. My father didn't open my head and put and force me loving the Oba of Benin or me defending him. He didn't. We grew up loving him because it has always been part of us right from time immemorial. When I do a lot of my live videos, a lot of people do not understand. It's usually very strategic. People don't understand. If you are smart enough, if you carefully, if I choose a topic, you should understand that I'm trying to disregard a particular propaganda.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified.